Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get started at this time.
Jen, forward, march. Tail, hold. Right, face. March. Deep. Detail. Hand.
So,
3,
to be honest,
2.
it's gonna go over this
Center.
video for
Face.
15 minutes.
Left,
I would
full
step
right,
away,
face.
let me show you so we can plan every
Three
time.
faces forward.
When I come
March.
back around and I come back into view, it's just so you know about it at all time.
Left, face.
Right, let me see what I'm at.
Forward.
Let you know where I'll be at.
March.
Right this way, please.
Corner. Arms. Right shoulder. Arms. Right. Peace. Forward. March.
The ones that Sharon. Right here, just sit on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Riverside National Cemetery. On behalf of our director and staff, we want to extend our sincere condolences and thank you for choosing Riverside National Cemetery as your loved one's final resting place. At this time, I'm going to ask for the complete silence any noise personal devices, such as cell phones. But feel free to take as many pictures or videos as you like. Now I'll now turn you over to the Navy Honor Guard.
Honor detail, attend. Friends, family, thank you for inviting us out here today to pay our respects to a true American hero. A hero who put on a uniform when few are able and willing to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, it does the United States Navy a great honor to be here today. Pay our respects. We'll be paying our respects with full military honors. Full military honors consists of 3 separate events. The first event, a 3 rifle volley salute from our rifle team, followed by the sounding of taps, and concluded with the ceremonious unfolding, refolding, and final presentation of our nation's colors to you, ma'am, the next of kin. Word of warning, the rifle volley can be quite loud, so if you have sensitive hearing, please take the necessary precaution to protect your hearing. During the sounding of taps, if you have served prior in the armed forces, this is your final opportunity to pay your respects with a proper hand salute. All others can show the respect by placing the right hand over their heart. At this time, if you're able to, please rise for military honors. Rifle team commander, fire 3 volleys.
Half step to the rear. March.
Ladies and gentlemen, please face your left.
Ready? Front. Present. Foot.
Friends and family, please take your seats. Ma'am, it's my great honor to present this flag to you on behalf of the President of the United States Navy, and a very, very grateful nation. I ask you please accept this flag as a symbol of our contribution and honor to the service. Please also accept these record pictures for the second representative of the city's children. Courage. No labor means honor. Courage. Friends and family, this concludes military honors. I want to thank you again for allowing us to be here to pay respects. Detail. Left face. On. Forward. March.
Folks, this is conclude the military honors.
For those of you who don't know, I'm Brent, Jim's oldest grandson. You're probably wondering why I'm wearing the silly jacket, but as I thought about what I wanted to say today, what came to mind is my grandpa had two sides to his personality. He had a serious side, but he also had a very fun side. And so I thought it would be good to honor him, both sides of those personalities. And so I wanted to wear something that would look like him. Probably noticed the pen in my pocket here. Untuck this.
Yeah.
So, a week or so ago, I did an impression of my grandpa for my wife at home, and we had a good belly laugh. And so I thought it was worth repeating here today. This is how a lot of our conversations would go. You'd say, so what do you got going on coming up? And I'd say, well, I'm going to go down to San Diego on the 15th, have a little fun down there. I'd say, okay, so let me get this straight. On the 15th, you're going to San Diego? And I'd say, well, yeah. He'd go, okay, hang on a second. So you're saying on the 15th, you're going to San Diego, huh? I'd say, yeah, going the 15th. He goes, it's your mom's birthday, you know. Yeah, I know. So you're telling me that you're going to San Diego on your mom's birthday? Yeah. I'll probably call her on the way back or stop by her house for a little bit. Okay, all right. So San Diego on the 15th, your mom's birthday, but you're not gonna call her from San Diego. No, I'm gonna call her on my way back or just maybe stop by the house. Okay. So he forever had the pen and the calendar. You guys probably saw that many times. He was still an engineer right up until the end. And when he was in the VA hospital in Long Beach, my mom and Mary were there one day, and we had a really good laugh talking about how he still had an engineer personality. And we made the joke that he didn't recognize us anymore, but he could still probably work on the space shuttle if necessary. If in a pinch, he could probably still work on the space shuttle. For years as a kid, I was calling him Pa. And as I got older, that seemed really awkward. And so for a lot of years, I didn't know what to call him. It didn't seem right for a teenager to call him Pa. And so my grandpa was just the grandpa without a name. I'd just say, hey. But in all seriousness, he was a wonderful man. And I'm proud to have had him as a grandpa. When I thought about things that I will take with me for the rest of my life, 3 things came to mind. He told me this once. He said, Brent, I've always tried in my life to be fair and reasonable, to just do the right thing. He was never trying to get the best of anyone, to show anybody up. He was just trying to be fair and reasonable. Do you know how rare that is in today's society? Another memory that came to mind was when Mary and my grandpa first moved to Belmont Shore. I was a young kid with no direction in my life. I was 19 years old and they took me in, and I got a job at a Blockbuster Video down on 7th and Terminal in Long Beach. Not the best area. And I would work the night shifts, and I would have to come home, walk in that bad area all the way to Belmont Shore at like midnight or 1 in the morning. And at the age, I did the math, at the age of 64, he, many times at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, would get out of bed and drive to Blockbuster Video and pick this 19-year-old kid up and drive him home. And he also let me use his old 10-speed bike. He was concerned about me making it home safe. And that's what grandpas do. Thirdly, I'll always remember the Monday night footballs. My grandmother passed away when I was 1, and so he was alone for a lot of years. And I became his buddy. He would pick me up after school every Monday night during football season, and we would go to his house, and we would watch football, and we would have a great meal. We'd order some food in, whether it was pizza or whatever. He picked me up faithfully every single Monday, and that's what I'll remember. He just didn't miss. He was there every Monday. Monday night football was me and my grandpa. He would make me do my homework at halftime, even if I didn't want to. And I have one particular memory where I had to pass gas in the middle of the game. So I guess I let one go, and I have never seen my grandpa that mad before. He said, "You don't do that out here. Get in the bathroom. You don't do that out here." And all I can say is that for him to get that mad, it must have been a real doozy. I also remember him sitting in his backyard at Belmont Shore, putting peanuts out and waiting for his buddy the blue jay to stop in and pick up a peanut. He treated that little bird like it was a person. And at the time, I never understood the fascination quite like he did. But I learned to find beauty in that relationship, in those interactions between him and the bird. He also loved pelicans. It got to the point where everyone was buying him pelicans for every birthday and every Christmas, and the house got so full of pelicans that he had to tell the family no more pelicans. And I remember him saying about pelicans, they just have so much character. Just watch them. They have great personality about them. So he saw the beauty of these small intricacies that God placed in every animal, in every person. He took me to San Francisco, to Great American Amusement Park. He took me to Santa's Village. He took me to my first Rams game at Angel Stadium. He took me to my first USC football game at the Coliseum. He took me to my first UCLA football game at the Rose Bowl. He wanted to expose me to the things that I enjoyed. He wanted to make sure that I got to go and experience these things. Mary, I told you this recently while my grandpa was nearing the end. You handled this whole situation with him beautifully, with so much love and care for him. You did your job as a wife, as a mother-in-law, and as a grandma. You changed our lives, and you changed my grandpa's life. Because of you, we had a grandma on my mom's side of the family. I lost my grandma when I was 1, but then I had a grandma again. And I had a damn good one. How many grandmas can beat you at racquetball? How many grandmas can say that they quit smoking cold turkey and proceeded to train for a marathon and complete it? And how many grandmas write a message of inspiration on a chalkboard every morning so that people walking by her at the front of her house can feel the love? Just like my grandpa saw the pelicans and the blue jay, I can't help but believe in those first moments that you two began to form a relationship, that he saw so many amazing intricacies in you that he couldn't help but love you with everything that he had. And Amy and Jason, my brother and sister, you're all that they knew. You are their granny. I was a teenager when you guys were married, so I kept calling you Mary. But I want you to know today that you are my grandma. When I'm talking to friends and coworkers, you are my grandma. So I speak for my mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother. Thank you for all the love that you gave him and all the love that you gave to us. To Joey and Michael, Justin, Travis, Becky, Corbin, he loved you guys as well. He would talk about you guys quite often. You were his family. Despite the distance, you guys were not just out of sight, out of mind. When he married Mary, you guys became his family. This morning, as I was getting ready, I wanted to say a few words to honor Mary, and I immediately knew where I needed to turn the Bible, and that's Proverbs 31, which is a famous chapter about Proverbs' wife. So I'm going to read from Proverbs 31. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. I remember on those Monday night footballs that me and Mary, when Mary ended up entering the picture, we would sit there, and it didn't matter if it was the two worst teams in football. It could be the two worst teams. It could be 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The score was 48-3. Mary would start dozing off to 9 o'clock on a Monday night, and he, just to mess with her, he'd put his hand on her leg and say, Mary, 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 you missed it. They got a first down. And she started getting frustrated. Jim, I don't care about the game anymore, but he just wanted her to see all the action. So she falls asleep again. Mary! Picked up 5 yards. Speaking of annoying humor. Oh. Say, that's how he showed his love, was through his annoying humor. And speaking of annoying humor, my grandpa would go through these weird phases where he would come up with words that nobody had ever heard of. How many times did you hear rat's butt? When I would leave the house, he would start singing zippity-doo-dah. I get to hang from the chandeliers again because you're leaving. He would joke like, good, you're out of here. And for about, how about this one? For about 15 years, he got on this kick where he started calling anyone who made him angry a shitbird. I'm pretty sure that every single one of you in here today was a shitbird at least once in your life. You weren't loved by my grandpa unless you had been a shitbird at least once. I'm almost done. I could see him up in heaven with his pocketbook out saying, okay. So let me get this straight, Brett. After I move on to eternity, on November 19th, you're going to stand at my service and poke fun of me in front of all the people that I loved and that knew me best? Yes, Grandpa, that's what I'm telling you. I'm here poking fun at you. But I want you to mark something else down in your pocketbook as well. You were the best damn grandpa that a kid could have. Thank you for the way that you lived your life. And I'd like to ask you a favor. Tell the big guy upstairs thank you for giving me you as a grandpa. I don't know the date. I can't tell you where to put it on your calendar. But I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you again in a place where there is no more pain or suffering. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this now concludes our service here at Riverside National Cemetery. If you would like to visit your loved one today, we invite you to come back after 4, just today. Any day afterwards, you're more than welcome to come in anytime you like. Our cemetery gates are open every single day of the year from sunrise to sundown. There's only one building that closes here, and that's the administration building. It's open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Folks, it's been an honor to serve your family today. Please drive safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, we're meeting at the old spaghetti factory in Riverside. We have maps somewhere, I know. It's off of the 91 Mission Boulevard. Okay, if anybody's interested to join us for lunch, welcome to come along.